Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Got another 1v1 for you here. Actually, I played a whole bunch of 1v1s today, just doing some practice for the tournament. Playing with other people who are going to be in it, like Blue, BRR. He's pretty new to the scene, we've never seen him before. Played some 1v1s with him. He's pretty good actually, playing with YoloSwaggins here. This guy is the one who on Discord is the thick rod, and you have to say it that way too, because there's two C's, I'm sure of it. And then, yeah, earlier I had said it was Frosty Teeth, but of course that's not true. And then, some 1v1s with Tomcat as well. I'm planning on casting 2 of those as well, so fun stuff. But we're gonna get right into it with YoloSwaggins here playing as the Coalition on Kalash Teeth. Now this is the AAV rush map, you know what I mean? And I definitely knew it, so I was a little bit worried that there would be some kind of an AAV rush, but what ended up happening was a really fun game, really cool game too, so I wanted to cast that. He's going to be sending his probe out here. I'm doing my typical thing, running forward. I wouldn't do this on this map against someone like Discara or something, because I'm really afraid he would just wreck me. But on against YoloSwaggins, I think it'll be all right. This probe is going to catch sight of us right there, but I am going to get the kill on it as well, probably anyway. That probe going to get away? Yeah, that happens sometimes. If you haven't seen my other video, by the way, this purple circle here represents what the opponent can see. Big thanks to Majir, of course. I made a video on how exactly this works. I noticed something interesting, by the way. If I turn off reveal all here and go into the sensor, you can still see the circle there. I don't think that's a problem. I just think it's kind of interesting. It's like you can, if someone gets into your base, you can also see like how much they can see if you have reveal all turned off. But it doesn't happen in game, of course. Little scuffles going on here, but you should notice that this base runner is going to be headed over to that side. They're going to do obviously some annoying base runner turret strategies. A little awkward. It's there with like still quite a lot of its cooldown left, and you can see that I can see it here, but I don't realize that the turret's not actually up yet. Doesn't matter though. I'm going to run away. I know what that means. So now I've got about 5 sand skimmers. I'm thinking I could probably take this turret on with 5 sand skimmers. Little did I know it's not even there yet, but certainly he's going to put it down. I think it would actually be like super cool if he just left now. You know what I mean? Because like I'm certainly going to come here to try to uproot this turret, but actually it's not even there. But I don't think he's going to do that, obviously. Yep, there goes the turret. Railgun fabrication coming down for me. The tech choice still has not come out for YoloSwaggins, so still up in the air as to what he's going to do. You can see he's mining off of this second location as well. Just kind of getting my forces together before I go in. I had the idea I'll pop out with my sand skimmers, get him to shoot at me with the turret so that it's on cooldown and then run in, but it wasn't on cooldown and I lost the Salvager. So that's basically the worst case scenario. And these two guys are kind of trailing behind too, so obviously a little flustered by this turret here. I don't seem to be taking it out really very effectively, but I probably will get an artifact to score right here. Turret is going to go down eventually. The big problem here is he now has more LAVs than I do. He's done some mining time damage. If he has AAVs coming in, and they are going to finish pretty soon, I could be in some trouble here. He could do some nice attacking. You can see how much bigger the view for an LAV is than for a base runner. It's crazy. But this base runner is going to run this way. I wonder actually if he could have made it if I'd gone that way, but I'm not sure. It's questionable, I suppose. Somehow I seem to have juked out the LAVs. Maybe I could try to use this little bit of rock here to that end, but you know, we'll have to see. Another turret going to come down on the base runner here, and this one I thought like, well, that's silly. I mean, obviously I can just take it right here if I just do hold ground, but then I realized that these sand skimmers are coming in, and I was like, oh my gosh, or LAVs that is. So I had to fall back. He is going to get a turret there, and refinery mode coming in for 10 seconds. That's really going to hurt. Super annoying there. So excellent turret placement by YoloSwaggins. I'll be able to pick up 1 LAV off the back of this. That one probably shouldn't have been sent over the dune, but not a serious loss for YoloSwaggins. I'm just going to try to delay as much as I can by moving off to that side with these sand skimmers. Might even get another one here. No, it doesn't look like it, but he is on low health. 2 assault railguns finished now from the production cruiser, with railgun armor coming in as well. That'll be able to take out this turret, especially if it's only at 1/3 of its health. I'm going to get power reserve 1, and that will help me by getting speed on the carrier. I'll get over there faster, so I want to take it out with the carrier. But this is when turret plays actually start becoming effective. I have refinery mode and everything, but I can't use it. And actually note that he can see me right now. I didn't realize this, but he can see exactly where I am. So, but yeah, I'm not mining. He is. you know, things are gonna get worse and worse for me if this continues, so I need to get rid of this as fast as I can. Fortunately, if I have refinery mode, I can move my carrier out without losing mining time on the mains. That's what I'm gonna do here. And I think you should be able to see by the blue bubble there how little you can see of your own base when this happens. I have no idea where these LAVs are. They could be anywhere. He's gonna extract an artifact as well, which is really annoying. I'm gonna see if maybe I can take that out. But it's questionable. My carrier gonna come over here to supply that base, and I am making another production cruiser, so I'll be on 3 bases pretty soon. YoloSwaggins really should follow suit. We should see another support cruiser coming out of him pretty soon if we want, if he wants to stay in this game as far as economy goes. But currently things are looking very good for him. This scanner here being extremely effective, getting a lot of information right there. Only just now getting scouted by these LAVs, so that scanner obviously doing quite a lot of work for me. But I have assault railguns here, so I won't be able to stop the extraction here, but I definitely can put the hurt down on this this little force of LAVs. One of them actually getting picked off by the assault railguns before it got over the hill there. He's moving in now with 2 AAVs, and I'm really starting to feel the pressure here. Haven't seen them obviously just yet, but I will see them very soon. But this is excellent aggression. If you want to know... Base ring goes down, by the way. If you want to know how to do like good early game aggression, it's basically like this. You're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. They can never catch a breath, you know. They never know where you're going to be next. Probably AAV smoking the missile system would be really good for him right now, but I could maybe try to use it with the production cruiser. Really though, it's going to be close, but the production cruiser probably won't go down. It might be better in this case to just go for salvagers. I could even try to use the demolition charges with the salvagers if I think it's going to be close. Although that is always a little bit difficult, of course. Decent carrier blocks here, kind of playing ring around the rosy with these AAVs, but they haven't reduced the DPS that much. Really, it's going to be these assault railguns here, this heavy railgun that's going to stop the AAVs. So that always feels pretty bad when you get a lot of damage on a production cruiser, but you don't quite kill it, because that essentially means you've done nothing, which is really sad, actually. Until then, I would have said his early game aggression was like pretty much perfect, but now that that thing hasn't gone down, he still doesn't have another support cruiser, although I guess he's making it now, but still it's going to be later. I would say he's beginning to fall behind in this match. Another thing I'd like to point out, look how many, I guess that's not true, but he has put down a turret right here. I think that's just kind of like a little too cautious, you know what I mean? I don't think you need the turrets there, especially this early on in the game. It's not really going to amount to too much, I don't think. Oh, whoa, I didn't notice that. Well, that should be pointed out. He's on Power Reserve 3 already. I did not know this in game. This turret should go down before it gets a shot off on the assault railguns. Indeed, it will. Then I can back away. I should be able to take a pretty good fight with these LAVs. Maybe I'll lose one, but I'll take out all of these LAVs probably if he engages, like if he commits in there. So no one ended up going down there to take out 3 LAVs, I think, and the turret. Support cruiser kind of in an awkward spot, wants to move over there. Good information off this probe. But yeah, Power Reserve 3, that's very interesting. We usually don't see that come out so early, but clearly he's got some kind of a plan. You can see he's moving the support cruiser here, moving the carrier there probably. I think he wants to weaponize his carrier now, so he probably should just move the support cruiser here and then make another one with the carrier still here and then move out, and it'll be closer to the field when it comes out. I've always been kind of annoyed on this map with how different the two sides are, you know what I mean? I don't know, it doesn't really matter too much, but... 4th production cruiser coming out for me. This is just because I recognize I have like a massive CU float, so I'm like, well, I might as well, you know. It never hurts to add in more production cruisers if you can make that many units. Also helping me get rid of CUs is missile ships here, which are very expensive on that. I'm just worried he's going to transition into air, so I just want to be safe. Power Reserve 4 coming in now. Don't you love this? Garmulator would be proud, man. And I think actually, if I remember correctly, after the game we were talking a little bit about it, and he was like, yeah, I've been watching a lot of Garmulator's replays. I'm trying to do what he does and like not get any unit upgrades. So that's pretty cool. Instead of getting unit upgrades, he just upgrades the best unit, which is obviously the carrier, right? I think Garmulator would be proud. I think he would be proud. At this point, I tried to do some kind of fancy hotkey action, trying to make this production cruiser on a different hotkey than the other ones, and it didn't. It was very difficult. I don't know. I'm really bad with hotkeys though, so who's really surprised? Anyway, at this point with Power Reserve 2, and I might get 3 pretty soon if I remember correctly, I'm thinking, oh yeah, my carrier is super powerful, but he's already like finished 4. It's crazy. I was not expecting that at all. I have a whole bunch of assault railguns here, but he has a bunch of railguns. Again, this looks like Garmulator, doesn't it? Just there'd be no AAVs in that case. So he will be able to hold off this army, but he can't really push in either, is what I would say. So that should probably favor me having the map control, but I'm not doing the best job with it. I only have 1 base runner, etc. Probably would be a bit better if I had more base runners taking more artifacts out at this point. Let's see, anything he's taking? Yeah, so he's taking into Power Reserve 5 already. That's a big deal. Gonna run in with my Sandskimmers here. The further in I ran, I was like, are there really no units protecting these railguns? But no, there was the carrier here, so... there were some AAVs as well, but I don't think I ever actually saw them. Railguns pick off a straggling Sandskimmer. That's a nice shot from them, but I see an opening here. I'm like, well, if his carrier is here, maybe I can actually poke in here, see what's there for me to find. Power Reserve 3 coming out, by the way. More heavy railguns as well. And I see I can dump some damage onto the carrier. Here I come. Now there's 2 turrets here. This is what I was talking about. That seems a little overkill to me to have so many turrets on the back line there. These railguns here doing a good job against mine though. I do have more armor upgrades, but just with numbers they're able to just kind of take a pretty good fight right there. But the turrets both go down. That's why I don't really like the idea of turrets, because eventually they'll just die. You know, they don't do that much really in the late stages of the game. So 1 support cruiser getting taken out right there. All my railguns get cleaned up, but it looks like actually all of his went down too. I didn't catch that. I'm not sure how that happened. I really thought he would have had pretty superior numbers right there. These guys desperately trying to hit this stupid LAV. There we go. But there's another turret on the back line right here. Very annoying actually, but I don't think it'll do too much for him. I'm starting to build up a big ball of railguns. Power Reserve 5, it's done, so he has access to the cruise missile. He's going to be looking for the right time to use it here now. And I would say probably this one has to be against army, because he's not going to get a carrier kill here anytime soon. So if I blob up these railguns here, which I may do, not realizing how much power he's on, he might be able to get all of them. And by the way, we actually looked into this, he and I, if there was any tell that your opponent had Power Reserve 5, but there's not. There's no way to know that looking at their carrier, so... Oh, cruise missile's getting launched. Oh, but it's on the carrier. And you know, I'm not sure how I feel about that actually. It does manage to kill the railgun that was coming out of production cruiser, but that's obviously gonna make me a little uncomfortable. I have a lot of damage on my carrier, but I think better would have been either take out this blob, but that would have been hard because they're all fast-moving units, or take out the railguns here so that you could push in. So I'm not sure about this, but I do like how many power reserves he's at. Last eco going to be taken out here for YoloSwaggins, and his money probably very, very thin now. Can only make a couple more railguns off of that. And as you can see, he's in fact producing nothing. But yeah, knowing that there's no cruise missile really helps me here. I can just run out with my railguns. I don't have to worry about it. And I will take out these AAVs so long as they continue to try to push here. But that carrier is dangerous, make no mistake. It is going to catch out this artifact as well. Meaning I only ever got 1 artifact down. In fact, he scored another one, so really nice job with the artifacts right there. I had seen these guys here with my base runners, so I start moving back here, but then I'm like, nah, this is probably better. Maybe he's got another base set up, so I'll try to take that out instead. And around this point, I was actually kind of expecting I would have killed this carrier already, so I was like, well, maybe I need to split my railguns, worrying that there's another cruise missile, but it looks like it's actually still on about a quarter of its cooldown here. And that should be a pretty clean carrier kill. Not anything I don't think that he can do about this. If he had a couple more AAVs, he might have been able to save himself here with power 5 into armor, but probably would have been game anyway. There's no base off the back of this, obviously, so... But I wanted to cast this game because I thought it showed a really good example of early game aggression and like how to keep your opponent on their toes there. Unfortunately, he kind of misjudged, I think, how effective he was going to be with his carrier there. He didn't have sufficient defense in the back line. But really, his early game I thought was very solid. So that was impressive to see. YoloSwaggins, of course, gonna be in our tournament tomorrow. So get hyped, I guess. I don't know. But I will see you in another video very soon.